Professor Amitabh Pande to deliver the valedictory address. So,
thank you, sir. Namaskar to all. Chairperson, sir, Professor B.V. Sharma, respected senior delegates, scholars, dear students, faculty members, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to deliver this valedictory address on the eve of superannuation through a workshop organized in honor of Professor B.V. Sharma, sir. As mentioned by Professor Basha, you have set an excellent culture of bidding academic farewell to our teachers. But sustaining it is always difficult. Those who sustain are the leaders. And I am sure HCU will sustain this culture. So that's what I expect. At the outset, I congratulate Professor B.V. Sharma sir for his illustrious academic career as a teacher. Only measure of his success is the love to the power of infinity. And yesterday we could see the children giving him the love. And that's the best a teacher carries in his life. Yesterday I saw it happening when it comes to his expertise in anthropology. He has developed it in area of medical anthropology. When I was student here, I remember Professor C.G. Hussain Khan sir was guiding one MPhil, and there I came across the medical anthropology kind of thing. And later on, I diverged to an environment sector. But sir, one of the pioneer in medical anthropology, he led here and established essay course, and the laurel he got for the department, we all know for it. He also belongs to the group of the professors at SU who played a prominent role in establishment of the department and taking it to the glorious height. Congratulations, sir, and to all my teachers, because what we attain today is the hard work of these teachers who have been for last 30-40 years. From the beginning of 1988, sir was earlier, but 1988 became the watershed year for the anthropology at HCU. So from there, they have taken this journey so far, and credit goes to all my teachers. We look forward to support in future, sir. In the present role as a director of ANSI, he is leading from front and giving a strong presence in our Ministry of Culture and Government Public Policy. Sir, whenever I go, I get a very good feedback about the Anthropological Survey of India, giving a very serious evidence-based support to the public policy of government required from anthropological perspective. And sir, there's no gap. There is no gap, I see. Yeah. And it's both of the biological and cultural. We look forward to your captainship in field of anthropology and public policy. I'll briefly talk on my valedictory topic because time is there. But the questions which was raised by Sharma sir was similar to what I'll be addressing now. Now I would like to take on the valedictory as the theme of workshop, anthropology and contemporary practices. As we all know, anthropology came in existence to understand the culture, and our own literary sources have excellently covered. Recently, I am spending time on reading what is Ved and what is Upanishad, because knowing ourselves is also important. Without knowing, we have been reading outside literature, and can we dive deep in our own literature and understand? So, and that too, I am working on the original Sanskrit text, because translated version also I found the meanings have been very differently presented there. So, originality was one thing. So, sir, that's very important. And we all know the genesis of anthropology came after colonial kings, understanding the community which they have conquered. So they have given a perspective of understanding the community through their own lenses. It's not the lenses which may be correct or may be right or wrong, can be debated, but it's their lenses which they have used. They have own mental map of ecology from where they originated. They came to a different ecological zones to understand. So that was the beginning. In case of anthropology departments in India, something bit disturbs me why becoming very selective of cultural, biological also. And I'm thankful to my teachers. I've been trained in all the four topics. I had linguistics anthropology, I had a cultural anthropology, archaeological anthropology, and biological anthropology, urban anthropology, complex society. And I was introduced to public policy by Professor Venkat Rao, which I later pursue in my life for long. And sir, I took out your papers when I jumped into a public policy. I took your papers out with me. So that's what. First, sir, the debate. Are we anthropology? Are we cultural anthropology? So let us be free. And as a physicist, I didn't see these fights between solid state physics and quantum physics or a geophysics space. All were complementing each other. And when it comes to our discipline, all four have helped me in my life. Where I see people weak in one, I put my knowledge there to explain this is where anthropology is required. Rather than he's weak in linguistics, I bring linguistics. He's bring in biologically, in the debate, I bring biology. So that's what strength gives us when we talk about holistic. And we need to be holistic in anthropology when holism comes with all the four knowledge of the discipline, not by one segment of it. So I request that we design all departments. It has two advantages. It will give more opening of employment to our teachers, more specialization, and department needs to be self-resilient about each others rather than critiquing each others, because हम ही हम है तो क्या हम हैं, तुम है तुम्हें क्या हम है, जो गुले की जो खुशबू है उसी से आनी है. So please give a deep thought, all anthropologists, all teachers, how to remove this problem of I'm happy my department doesn't has it, but other department I see it's very infected by that. I always say that. So that's one thing I should request you all. I have never seen this conflict I have talked about. Moving to contemporary practices of anthropology, I would like to highlight anthropology, that public policy, devoid of anthropology is impossible to make any public policy. All public policy has a cultural component. I pick up forest policy, I pick up water policy, I pick up river policy, I pick up industrial policy, I pick up startup policy. All policies I can tell you a component of culture and anthropology exists there. So policy makers are putting it there. Language, text, tone, textures may not match because with the lack of anthropologists. So anthropologist has to fill that gap. In public policy formulation, evaluation, they heavily depend on this anthropology. My sir was talking about social impact assessment. Theory of change, it's an anthropology topic which is used for scoping of the study. So anthropologists are being used. Yes, I can understand from Sahaya sir, we need that core theoretical frame, and we also need the other spectrum of application. Because I don't see, doctors don't research. Doctors do research. But then they do the practice and surgery also. So they don't leave it to that place. So that's where we can see. So a systematic teaching needs to be done for preparedness of students for utilizing the employment opportunity in formulation, monitoring, evaluation of public policy. So a paper can come up, course can come up, and I have been teaching for 25 years on this subject, and my students have been benefiting because all international agencies required expertise on it. And quietly said by Subbaraya sir that your mixed method. But again, mixed method has to be compound, not a mixture, sir. That's the problem. I see mixed method in most of the research projects like a mixture. वो भेलपुरी दिखती है, वो नहीं दिखता है कि he understand what is a mixed method. And that's where, as a researcher, and to my Romesh, you need to very strongly work on your research method of your students. It's like army training. Even butting is required. Sometimes students are not learning. So that's very important for you. Next, my experience in general and management sector, let us me assure you that no corporate survives or sustain without use of culture per se. Culture is a very important element in corporate industry. And Acceleri existed because of it, worked on conflict management and done away with union conflicts, which you don't see nowadays. 70s was infested with union conflict. strong cultural research was done to deal with that problem. Now you cannot see that kind of gathering can happen. Starting from design thinking to employment HR, conflict management and negotiation. And for your information, anthropologist William Urey is an international negotiator for UN for several international and border conflict. So in macro, we are dealing with it. And he plays a very active role in inter-countries conflict, and UN sends him. And if you follow him, he uses anthropology to a very significant use. Present world order gives us ample opportunity to enhance our knowledge on to disaster and cultural resilience and negotiation. The world order, you see, anthropologist roles are becoming very prominent. The countries which are suffering, they need to be again taken care from research as well. Coming to forest, water, river, commons, even international commons, global commons. In morning, somebody was talking about biodiversity, IPR, wildlife, human interface. Anthropology is important to provide anthropocentric perspective to knowledge development. I've seen foresters defending their deep ecology thoughts, but I've never seen anthropology defending their anthropocentric view. Yes, that's our core. We are for the human, by the human, for the human, of the human. So we'll defend that. They are talking about deep ecology, that devoid of human. They say all ecology is supposed to be devoid of human. But we have evidences where Baiga has lived in Kanha with tigers prior to making of a national park. So displacement has not given a solution to a better management of park, because after displacement, the forest tiger population fell down. So they are the evidences to be taken care. Wildlife, I take the case of wildlife and human conflict. It is totally driven by wildlife perspective of deep ecology, but anthropologists have never countered it or questioned it. Conflict is being between human on values and interest. The question is, do you say animal have values and interest, or they are governed by the basic instinct for food and prey? So when animals hunt a human, he is hunting like a prey. He is not hunting like an enemy. We try to hunt it. So it's because whenever animal is killed by when a human is killed by an animal, he is basically in the crouching position. So he looks like an animal, small animal, and the tiger pounces on him. Rarely on a standing animal, a tiger attacks. And that's why if you go to Sundarban, the community moves with a mask of face behind and the front. So it is to camouflage the tiger that he is looking backward. So they are the things which we need to do it. So basically, now the theory of, they are giving theory of harmonious living, coexistence are being accepted, which anthropologists has reported decade back in 80s and 90s. All our studies talks about coexistence. All our studies talks about co-productions. Work is already talked in 70s when he's talking about fishery of Scandinavian countries. Other anthropologists and commons have been talking about it. So here conflict with wildlife management and deep ecology and community. It is the department and the humans conflict. It is the forester who is saying this is my animal. And गांव वाले की भाषा होती है कि तुम्हारे जंगल ने मेरे जानवर को, तुम्हारे जानवर ने मेरे जानवर को मारा है. फॉरेस्टर से कहते हैं कि तुम्हारे टाइगर ने मेरे गाय को मारा है. So he becomes the representative of it. But now that has to be studied why it's happening. And that has to be where anthropologists have a big role in human-animal conflict. And they need to defend about the community versions and community thought. Similarly, climate change debate, there are 3 solutions to address, which presently in debate is there. One is mitigation, second is adaptation, third is loss and damage. The latter 2 are to be addressed by anthropologists to take up. The devastation has happened in Himalayas, Kerala, Punjab, other plains. Loss and damage is an area where we need to study them. Cultural, to study the shock, stress, vulnerability, coping strategies. Community adapting process. Community is very resilient to adopt. When I have been studying them, I can vouch. I come from a bank of Ganges where flood is a lifestyle. We are not afraid of flood. We invite flood because it helps us in better in agriculture. And that anthropological understanding of those belt system has to be river riparian commons has to be understood. Finally, future of anthropologists is secured and it's in safe hands, not so to bother about. It is, I've been seeing, doing very well. Some department variation now, same thing. Sustainability is what? So we all should never die. If you talk about sustainability, we all, is the ecosystem is to survive or it is the component to survive? That's the question. The components will be changing, ecosystem will survive. So anthropology as ecosystem will surely survive. So we study human in every aspect, and lot new opportunities are coming. Basha sir was talking about AI is opening a new arena of research through digital anthropology. We need to learn coding to also talk about digital anthropology. Frankly telling you, when I went into forestry, the language which forester speaks, Shoria robusta, this means Arjuna latifolia, suddenly you are standing among them, you are not understanding what they are saying. So I invested big time into understanding forestry. I spent time with the foresters, going deep in forest and walking long in forest, what they see. So you need to learn their art before critiquing their art. You need to learn, and I have invested. I have traveled deep in forest. Now I can differentiate trees and forest by traveling. And which was, when I used to travel with them, do you see that? That is this tree. For me, distinguishing all are like same shade. And that is skill, we all should have it. So learn computer, but as an anthropologist. Learn computer and as an anthropologist. Second is environment. It's becoming a big area of study and it's opening a lot of avenues for us. Anthropologists can do a lot of study. Entrepreneurship has come very big way, where you can study how startups world behaves culturally. Startup again has a big culture. I have been a mentor for the government of India. It is also a big status symbol for marriage. मैं स्टार्टअप चला रहा हूँ, शादी होनी है. ये सारी चीज़ें भी हमें समझना है, how they work out. And that, because when I say, they come with an idea. But you will need to understand what are the cultural features of it. And the values-wise study it. It's giving a beautiful reflection. Please capture it. There are some examples and thousands more to exist to reach you out. Here I'm talking about the areas beyond conventional anthropology, which you are free to pursue and you have been pursuing. I am requesting George, my classmate, Dr. George, to work on kinship for me. It's the best. I believe he is the best in the country, and that area is when anthropologists are not studying. The organogram we are not studying. I did an organogram of a district of a tribal ITDP and showed to collector the gap. And he realized there is no service provider of ITDP at a block level and village level. How will the policies be delivered? So delivery gap is there. You don't have a person to deliver, not a trained person who is an anthropologist or somebody. Because at block level, it's education officer. At the district level, it's patwari, who is delivering your tribal development projects. And the uniqueness of a tribal development, One Dhan Yojana, it's not so simple. If you read the policy, it's so complex. It's a holistic policy. It is converted into fragments when it is delivered at the bottom end. जाकी रही भावना जैसी हरी मूरत देखी तिन तैसी. सो जिसको जो समझ में आया उसी तरह डेवलपमेंट को डिलीवर कर दिया नीचे. And we are all at the top believe it is not being delivered. There is a gap which is to be created at the bottom. That has to be solved at the bottom. So please be confident of anthropology. It is sustainable. And in the last point, in debate of sustainability too, the least research component of sustainability, there are three components: ecology, economics, and culture. Culture is the least studied because it's only talk about equity. Economics talks about efficiency, environment talks about effectiveness, and culture talks about equity. When I started studying and researching what is the equity, sustainability component, there comes your human right, there comes your gender, there comes your community well-being. Those are least researched, and the plus minus is never plus. So plus into minus is always minus. So that's where if you go into maths, all the three has to be plus for it to be sustainable. How equitably culture can be brought there to make it sustainable, and that research is lacking. Corporates do some camouflaging. I have seen it, what camouflaging they do it to say this is cultural sustainability, because when I evaluated that, so it's open for anthropologists to study that, how they are doing it. Need not do from corporate perspective, do independently what is cultural sustainability. Lastly, so you have a high potentiality of research in these areas. And once you really do it, there's a present day requirement of a sustainability debate. People will run after you if you are expert of cultural sustainability. And that phrase do matter. Phrase do matter. जर्नल डू मैटर. आर्मी का जर्नल है तो मैटर करता है, वो ऑल ध्यान रखिए उसको. सो एंड बिफोर डूइंग इट you have a business anthropologist and Ramesh, please develop a framework, institutional framework. You may call it SEO framework before doing the cultural sustainability, and then do strong research. These tools will become a tool for everyone to do it. If you are the front runner in making a proper tool of assessment or research of sustainability. So that I leave it to you. So this is time bound. So I can be preaching gradually. बाबा बनने के दिन आने लगे हैं. But I'll close with my talk. Sir, wish you the best for your wonderful journey in academics and for being a lead for us. And thanks for your excellent legacy. And surely I'll be looking for your guidance in our ministry, as I'm your junior. So I'll always be looking to you. Thank you all. Jai Hind.